Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in The Buzz, the brother of one-time figure skating star Nancy Kerrigan is behind bars today. He's accused of assaulting his father, who died of a heart attack moments later. Daniel Kerrigan collapsed after the two men got into a fight over the telephone. Mark says he wanted to use it, but says his father wouldn't let him. This morning, the cause of the death is still undetermined, and because of that, Mark has only been charged with assault and battery. But prosecutors say they are awaiting an autopsy result to determine possible further charges. Take a listen to what prosecutors and a neighbor had to say about Mark and the incident.
He was clearly intoxicated. He was also extremely combative with the police, very violent. He refused to comply with their orders, and they had to subdue him with the use of pepper spray. He had to be forcibly removed from the home.
You know, if you looked in the dictionary, they wanted a definition of what a man and a father was. That was Danny Kerrigan. Mark is a wonderful human being in his own way. He loved animals. He used to love to go in the forest.
Well, police say Nancy's mother, Brenda, along with Nancy, called 911 for help. When officers arrived, they found Daniel Kerrigan unconscious in the kitchen and Mark in the basement. Now, court documents show Mark had a long criminal record and had just been released from jail. The question is, what do you make of the situation? Now, here's the one thing that, I'm sorry to interrupt. Here's the one thing that bothers me. Right away, we're saying he died of a heart attack. How do we know that if an autopsy hasn't been done yet?
That's what his wife is saying.
Right.
She believes it was a heart attack.
So let's not automatically assume he died of a heart attack until the autopsy comes out.
I'll tell you what's not going to help. Even if it was just maybe an argument, or it sounds like there was some pushing and shoving, but just an argument that led to this heart attack, Mark does not have a good record, and that's just, I think he's already behind the eight ball with that. I mean, he has a long criminal record. He just got out of jail. You know, just from an outsider that doesn't have many details on the story, you hear stuff like that, and you're like...
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing, too, is that Mr. Kerrigan's wife is legally blind. So she apparently didn't really fully witness what was happening. So we've got really sort of gray areas here where she could be believing one thing, and then obviously the person who's dead can't tell us what happened, and then we've got the son. It's not going to be a clear-cut, easy case here at all.
And the son was unconscious when he got to him, and he also has a number of problems. He's been arrested numerous times for assault. He's also been in the Army. He's on psychiatric drugs for post-stress syndrome. So he's got that going for him. He apparently told police once they arrived that they got into an argument about the telephone, and he choked his father, and that when his father fell, he thought he was faking it.
Yeah, this is going to be tricky, though, because like you said, the victim is dead. And the only other witness is possibly blind.
A lot of this is going to come down to forensics.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the relationship that Nancy Kerrigan had with her father. We all remember back, during her professional run as a skater, the video of when she was attacked by Tanya Harding, and he picked her up and carried her, and of course,
she's screaming, "Why me? Why me?"
Exactly, and we obviously don't know how close they are now, but back in the day, I mean, she was skating all the time. Her father was always by her side at practices and events and things like that.
I was thinking about that as well. Maybe, almost a jealousy thing from the brother led him into this unfortunate criminal
I don't know about that, but...
I don't know, but he was living with the family. So clearly he had some problems. He was out of work, apparently an out-of-work plumber.
And just released from jail.
Right.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have a family divided here. You're going to have Nancy, she's going to have to pick a side between, do I support my brother? Or do I, honor my father's memory by supporting him? It's going to be very interesting, a lot of layers to this for sure.
Well, I don't know, and I can't say because I'm not there, but it appears at this point that she's already picked years ago.
Yeah. When
she went, for the Olympic gold medal and problems with the brother, and it was clear that she had to prop herself up as this great, glamorous girl.
And of course, a lot of people in Massachusetts gripped by this because they have been in the Bay State for so long.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this. Courtney, what are people blogging about this morning?
We're all in agreement that it's a very sad situation, but they are weighing in a little bit about how they feel about this. So let's head to the live blog right now on foxprovidence.com. This one's from Tripp, and he says, a very sad situation no matter what the outcome. I do think it's still too early to tell what happened. This one's from Ja Rule, and he says, it's hard for me to believe that a 70-year-old man having an altercation with his son wouldn't cause stress and in turn cause the heart attack he had. And Elisa says, I think he should be charged with assault, but living with the fact that that his father died while they were arguing. Imagine having that guilt for the rest of your life. Here's the poll on foxprovidence.com. Do you think the son played a role in the father's death? A, yes, the struggle must have been a factor. B, no, I agree with the family. Or C, it's too soon to tell. And I've also posted the latest story there for you guys to read if you're just catching in with us. Here's a look at our Facebook page right now. We do have a couple of comments so far. And Allison Mello says, I don't think that he was responsible. And Anthony Brooks thinks it was just bad timing. So there's where some of our viewers stand right now, but we'll see what everyone else is saying on our poll in about a half hour. I'll be back then with the results. For now, back to the kitchen. Danielle, what's happening?